Hello and welcome to the Coffee Chat Show with me, Jody Myciak. And this month is a special edition. It's June, and I find that June for myself and my family is super busy. In fact, my husband and I are actually going away next week for our anniversary. So it's just shifting things around. If you need the schedule, I have posted it in the group. And I've also, every week, I will remind you of the date and what the topic's going to be. And this month on the Coffee Chat Show, we are focusing on everyday challenges. Because, well, we all have everyday challenges. Life's not easy breezy all the time. Maybe sometimes it is and feels really good. And then other times, life comes up, life happens. And I really am a believer that with no challenge, there is no change. So it really helps us grow. That doesn't mean we can't kind of help ourselves in those challenges. And with summer coming up, that also means kids are out of school. If your kids are school age, that means that they've been in school all this time. So if you work from home like I do, you have that window of time that you're free to do your work and to do whatever you need to get done. And then with school out, what does that look like? It looks like I gotta fit stuff in. This is actually the first summer where my daughter is actually going to be home for a full week. She was in daycare before, part-time. So I had, days that I would just be one kid. And now I'm going to have two kids at home. So how do we find time for us in the craziness, especially in the summer? And, we have more social gatherings, and I already feel like our calendar is getting busier with people than in the winter months. And it's a thing in Canada, or at least in where I'm from, in Ontario, Canada, just the weather. So things are really nice outside. We're getting, invites to things, family gatherings. So how do we make time for us, for you in the busyness of our everyday life? And then you throw summer in there and the kids are home. Well, first off is figuring out how you're going to do it. Do you need a support system? If your kids are young, is looking for nap times. Maybe taking time for you to nap, or when the kids go to bed. It's getting creative. I know I've said a lot of this before, but it's really just something to think about. What, like the how? How are you going to do that? Is it nap time? Do you have grandparents? Take them. It could be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever works for your structure. It could be finding a local babysitter and just even getting out of the house for an hour. It's really figuring out, there could be an aunt or your husband, partner, and really figuring out what that looks like to you. So how are you going to do that? It's figuring out your structure. And then it kind of comes into the next one is when. When are you going to schedule? Like if you've listened to me before, I'm a big component of scheduling. Now, I used to be the person, I'd schedule it, and if it didn't happen, I'd go crazy. I have now come to the realization that life happens, like I've mentioned just a minute ago. And I feel it's important to schedule, because when it's on my calendar, it happens more likely than not. However, that being said, life does happen, and you have to go with the flow. So putting something down in your calendar doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but it does help you give direction to where it's going to go. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It's loving yourself through it and just be like, okay, so that didn't really work out for me today. Let's look at it and love our way through it. And we, figure out a different way of doing it. And so So scheduling it in is super important in my opinion because it's like a workout or going, if you have a gym membership and you're like, I'm going to go to the gym, but you don't have a system in place or know when you're going to do it. It could be like a team support. So just like I mentioned for you time for you, having that support system. Who's going to look after the kids? Do you have daycare for them or is it camp? For us, and because I work from home, I actually have my daughter in 4 weeks of camp. It's actually through her school, so it's kind of the same. It's same teachers and different things like that. Same a lot of the kids, and it gets her out all day in the forest, and kind of what we've been doing all year with her at the forest school. So that kind of just gives me a little bit more time. So then I have those nap time slots that my son's sleeping to work, or Fridays I very much have off for myself. And but yeah, so support team. So know how are you going to fit it in? And again, it's getting creative. And if you need help, reach out to us in this group. Message me personally. I will help you. I could even jump on the phone for you. Because messaging back and forth, sometimes we don't necessarily connect well. And I think we could even do like Facebook Messenger video chat, and that would be cool too. I want you to have a successful summer. I want to set you up for success. And I've had my own trial and errors throughout the spring. So I personally know for my own me, making sure my cup doesn't get empty quickly, is I'm not going to be taking my son and daughter for a week on my own. We've already tried to do things, and my husband was there. I'm like, okay, I cannot. My son's he's 2 and he gets into everything. So it's I would have to have 100% of my attention on him. Just make sure, doesn't jump off a cliff. Keep him safe. Seriously. So I know that I would need a support system if I go further. So we'll get more into these kinds of things, but it's just make sure you don't overdo it yourself in different areas of your life either. For me, I want to do all these things with my kids, but it's picking age appropriate things to do with them. So for me, I'm going to keep it close to home because my son still naps. My kids, if they have meltdowns, which they're really, they do happen, especially if they're hungry or tired, I like them to be somewhat close to home so we can get them home and take care of them, what area they need to be taken care of. So that helps you with your own sanity. And I just wanted to share that because I've had my own personal, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do what I planned this summer because it's not quite right for my family right now. So it's figuring out what works for you personally. What do you need for you to fill your cup up? And then also look at your life of what's really emptying your cup. What can you kind of change so it doesn't take so much of your energy away? So support how support when scheduling it in, and then it's what are you going to do? And I personally, when you're not stressed out and you're not overwhelmed, maybe in one of your times where you can just sit outside and enjoy the weather, have a cup of coffee or tea, a smoothie, and really think about what lights you up. Make a list of things that you'd like to do this summer, just for you. And it could be as simple as I'll have a nap when my son naps kind of thing. Or I personally, I'm actually going to grab, I have a whole pile of books I've been ordering. I love reading. And for this month, I'm actually going to pick out the books that I want to kind of read right now. So I don't go, I have so many to read. I don't know which one. So I've actually just started Seriously, I'm Kidding, or Just Kidding by Ellen DeGeneres. So I want something light this summer. And I've also just been picking up novels throughout. For me, that's what I love to do, is read outside when my son's napping or when my daughter's playing out in the backyard. And so it's making that list. What would make you re-energized? It could even be as putting in, like, plugging in some music into, like, putting it on your phone or your iPad, your any listening devices that you have, because there's so many out there, or turning on the radio or the television, and play music while you're vacuuming and cleaning and dancing. It's whatever lights you up. I said it before, me time and self-care, like, we're really talking about self-care here, but it's me time. Me time and self-care, same thing really. And with self-care, I could give you a whole list of things you could do. And in fact, if you want that, I've actually shared those things before on here, and you could look at the pictures for that. But self-care only truly works if you're picking things that you love to do. If I say, give yourself a manicure, give yourself a pedicure, and you despise applying your own nail polish, or, it's like, go get a massage, and you don't like other people touching your back, and it gives you, like, stress thinking about it, that is not good self-care. Whatever works for you personally. So, like I said, sit down when it's peaceful, even if it's 5 minutes, and think, like, what would I love to do this summer? And just make a list. And then you don't even, when I say schedule time in, you don't even have to say everything you want to do in that time. Maybe it's you find 10 minutes in the evening after the kids go to bed on, like, every day of the week, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, or whatever it is in your calendar. You don't actually have to put what event is in. It could be whatever you want to fill up your cup. For me, because I was not very social over the past 2 years, because I was just trying to survive the lack of sleep, my dark days of not sleeping, I am now reaching out to friends and family more and socializing. That really helps me fill up, and it's being with the right people. So again, whatever it is for you. So one more time, we're just going to repeat what it was, is fill up, or support. Like, how are you going to fit your time in? It's figuring out what that looks like for you and your unit, your family, your team, whatever you want to call it. It's like team you, whatever support system you have, and how is that going to look? And if you're on your own, there's still ways to do it. It's like when the kids go to sleep, it could even be 10 minutes. It really doesn't have to be a lot, but fitting in time for you. And then so scheduling it in. And then what are you doing? And again, remember that the bonus and the little tidbit here is try to stop doing so much of the stuff that is emptying your bucket quickly. Because I have done that a few times in this like, just over the past few weeks, and it takes days to replenish sometimes. So really, really look at what you're doing, and plan age-appropriate outings, and not even just age-appropriate, kid-appropriate. My son and daughter are completely different. What I did with my daughter when she was 2 doesn't always work with what my son is, like my son's personality. So plan appropriately to you and your family, and what works for you guys, so you don't empty that bucket or cup so quickly. So I hope that really helps. I, again, really want to set you up for a successful summer. I love summer, and I love spring, summer, and fall. I prefer not to have winter, but trying to love it a little more every day. So I hope that helps. If you need anything, please reach out to the group, to myself personally. Just message me, and we can just work through what it is that you would like to set up for yourself. Maybe you are completely alone and you don't have a structure. We can work out ways to help you with that. Same with ideas of self-care. We can give you a huge list of things, and you can pick what feels right to you. And same with how to fit it in. I have definitely worked in different schedules all over the place. So if that is something you need, please, again, reach out, and it's just private message me here on Facebook. Let's do it that way. You can also email me at info@jodymyciak.com as well, if that is something you would like to just do and reach out. Seriously, like just conversation, can keep it easy breezy, and just help you set yourself up for a really good summer. So before we go, I'd love to grab a card. I might not be doing these in July. July is going to be a little different. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter in July, because your kids might be home and you have things going on. So I'm going to try and keep it shorter, and I might actually be on the go. So stay tuned for more information. But it is going to be at an exact, like, I'm not just going to fly by it and post whenever. I'm actually going to have a time so you can actually come online. So what do we need to hear today? Or what does somebody here need to hear today? I'm pretty sure I've almost certainly had this one before, but let's do it again. I am open and receptive to love. Life is always trying to love you, but you need to be open to see it. Complete this sentence. I could make it easier for life to love me by asking for help, maybe. We definitely had this last week, I think, yeah, pretty sure it was last week. What was it? What was it again? I could make it easier for life to love me by taking less off your plate, by loving yourself more, giving yourself a big hug, whatever it is. I love you, and I'm so grateful that you're here and part of this group. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.